Well, hello there, and welcome back. And if you're new, welcome to my little corner of YouTube, where I like to talk about things, but from a midlife perspective. Today, I'd like to talk about women's happiness and how to get it, or at least how in my life I've been able to achieve at least some semblance of happiness. The research I did do for this video was mostly anecdotal, lived experience, and just talking to women that I know in my life personally that I believe that are content and happy in their lives and what the main correlations of those ladies' lives are. I've also been witness to a lot of really unhappy ladies, and I don't know, I just feel like we need to reach out to our miserable sisters and maybe give them a little bit of advice on how not to be so screechy. Okay, what makes women happy? Well, I have researched into the subject, read psychological profiles, personality types, studies, all kinds of crazy things to try and figure out what actually makes women happy. And I've boiled it down to 7 things. And these are things that I, to myself, use to increase my happiness in my life because I'm a woman and I want to be happy. So, what makes women happy? So, number 1 that I've discovered is to be in the moment. Savor the moments that you're in because they are fleeting and you tend to forget about the good things and you tend to dwell on and remember more of the negative that happens to you. So if you make an effort to focus on the positive in the moment, you tend to be a generally happy person. You can do this by writing a happiness journal, taking photos, and I'm not talking about filtered selfies. I'm talking about photos that capture the moment. So when you're looking back on those moments, you actually see the joy in your face. And ladies, take more photos of yourself. I mean, in real situations, because those photos are the most precious to you as you get older. Believe me. It also helps you solidify those things that you are most grateful for, and you can use those as touch points to go back on to remind yourself. One of the things that I have learned is depression is focusing on the past, and anxiety is focusing on the future. Depression comes with reliving events that had happened before, regrets that you have. Those are things that you can leave behind you. The anxiety is worrying about the future, worrying about the what might happen. And I'm generalizing, of course, but these guidelines have actually helped me a lot when I'm feeling anxious about something that's about to happen to ground myself actually in the moment. The number 2 thing I've learned is exercise. Not only is it good for your body, it's also good for your self-worth because you are taking care of yourself, you are taking care of your physical being. It provides you with a strong, healthy body to move through this world in. And as you get older, that becomes more and more important. Believe me, I know. And their studies show that consistent and quality exercise can be more effective with less side effects than antidepressants in helping treating depression. So the number 3 thing I've learned is quality relationships. Women need friends. Women need a tribe. But what's most important in those friendships is that is a healthy and productive friendship. Every woman needs her girls to go vent to. But that in itself can be a problem with women because we tend to like to either up complain or we like to commiserate with each other. For example, I go to my friends complaining about my teenagers. My friend then goes, oh, well, you think your teenager is bad. Well, mine is blah, 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 blah. That's not helpful for women. To be a good friend, you have to ask the question, do you need to just complain or would you like advice? And I found that question, sometimes people are just like, I know, I just need a bitch for a bit. And I've said that myself. and having that true quality friend who will just listen to you and let it go in one ear and out the other because you just need to get it out. Find and build a supportive and constructive friend circle. Studies have shown that people live longer if they have built that security net around them of good, positive friendships, and ones in isolation tend to die sooner and lonely. And number 4, have you ever heard of flow state? What that is when you get so involved in something and you thoroughly enjoy that thing so much that you lose yourself in it, you lose your thoughts in it, and you also lose a sense of time. Getting into the flow of things. I'm sure you've heard that before. Find a hobby that gets you into that state, that gets you out of your head and gets you into the moment of what you're doing. And once that thing that you've discovered no longer serves you, there's nothing wrong with finding new hobbies, even into your twilight years. They found that people who are constantly learning and constantly growing, even well into the end of their lives, live the happiest and most productive lives. Number 5, your relationship with your significant other. Now, marriage is work. Being single is work. You just have to choose which you want to work on. You do have to choose what is going to be most beneficial for you in the long run. And having a loving and supportive partner, someone who knows you even better than yourself, can help to give a woman that sense of support and that sense of satisfaction in her life that helps lead to happiness in other parts of her life. Women in happy marriages are so much happier than single women. Sorry, girls. A quick note on that, to be in a happy and nurturing and loving relationship, you have to learn how to be nurturing and loving. So constant work on yourself and your own flaws can help you in your own relationships. Number 6, okay, have a healthy sense of humor. Be able to laugh. I'm finding that people are so offended by everything now that actually kind of used to be funny. Now, I'm not talking about things that are obviously offensive, but comedy is that thing that dances across that line of, oh my God, that's funny, and eek, maybe too far. And it's a very easy, clear distinction if you have a healthy sense of humor. So find those friends that you can have those awesome belly laughs with. Find that group of people to hang out with that make your face hurt. I know laughing causes wrinkles. However, those are the good wrinkles to have. Again, studies show that cancer patients that have a healthy sense of humor and a better outlook on life have higher survivability rates. There's some truth in the old saying that laughter is the best medicine. So laugh with your partner. Enjoy your sense of humor. Find that close friend group where you know you can dance along that line and enjoy those rolling on the floor belly laughs that are actually a really good workout. All right, ladies, you are not going to like the last one, but I'm going to give it to you. Limit your alcohol intake. Wine o'clock should never be a thing. Mommy's juice box should never be a thing. You should never use a substance that alters your perception of reality as a coping mechanism. Alcohol affects your hormones, and as a woman in her midlife, just moving through midlife, the hormones that I'm naturally having to deal with are enough. Adding alcohol into that throws your hormones completely out of balance. Also, drinking doesn't solve your problems. There's a saying that when you get drunk, you're only borrowing happiness from tomorrow because you're going to pay doubly for it. It leads to poor choices. It leads to arguments. It leads to regret later. So maybe put the glass of Chardonnay or Pinot Gris down and actually start participating in your life, not medicating yourself away from it. On a personal note, that's a lesson for me that was the grandest one to learn. I have in my past used substances, alcohol, to deal with things that were going on in my life. It only made me more miserable, and it made me avoid the problems, and those problems only came back tenfold the next day. I had quit drinking a year, and my father passed away. And I don't know how to say this, but I'm so glad that I was able to deal with that with a clear head and move through the grieving process with no alcohol in my life, with no substances to pull me out of what I needed to face in those moments. And today I can sit and say, I've moved through the process and I'm a much happier person for it. If I had been denying myself the opportunity to grieve through self-medicating myself, I don't think I would be in the place that I am today with that. So just some advice from me, my lived experience. Take it as you want. All right, ladies. And this one was for the ladies because none of this information really applies to how to make a woman happy. This is how we make ourselves happy. And I think that's more important. But it is something that I maybe will address in the future on how I perceive as a woman my man makes me happy, what he does in my life that cheers me up. And it's not always sex. Anyway, with all that being said, again, thank you so much. I appreciate everyone who watches my videos. It's because people are watching and people are leaving awesome comments and people are asking me questions that I keep making these videos because I know that at least one person is going to get something from this. And that's why I'm here. So if you do like what I said, please click subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. I have started an Instagram too. I'm not the best Instagrammer in the world. I mean, I'm almost 50, so I'm not supposed to be. So I'm okay with that. But anyway, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next one.